Did you receive any funds from the confidential funds of the OVP in the conduct of these events?
No, sir.
Bakit kayo nag-issue ng certification?
Wala kayong actual participation.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And all you did was collect the certifications from the different units of the military. Hindi mo alam, hindi niya rin alam, yet you're just using these certifications to justify something. Parang mali po ata yan, di ba? Now, here comes Yusef Mempin collecting the certifications from the activities conducted by AFP, submitting it to you, and you submitting it to COA to justify your expense.
Yes, Your Honor.
It's wrong, di ba?
Yes, but
From no matter how you look,
Sinasabi natin na Youth Leadership Summit. Is it a program of the DepEd, the Armed Forces of the Philippines? Kanino? Sino makapagsasabi sa akin?
Major General Bajau?
Bahaw, sir.
Bahaw?
May I be recognized, Mr. Chair?
You are recognized.
Your Honor, it's a Philippine Army-wide program, a 3-day activity po.
It's an activity included in the budget of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Tama?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's one of PPAs insofar as your budget is concerned.
Yes, sir.
So in other words, when you conduct these events, you do not need the help of other agencies or the funding of other agencies.
I would disagree to that, Your Honor, because we can only spend for our own troops, but the need of other participants and the subject matter experts have to be carried by participating agencies po.
What is the legal basis why the program of the Armed Forces of the Philippines is participated on by other agencies of government? What is the legal basis?
Your Honor, we just operate in the context of the Peace and Order Councils po. Our participation in the POC would also reflect on the participation of other agencies when we conduct this activity, sir.
Oh, direct question na lang, General. Did you receive any funds from the confidential funds of the OVP in the conduct of these events?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
There's no funds coming from. There are no funds coming from the Office of the Vice President.
Yes, sir. No funds
Regarding
coming
this.
from them.
Thank you. May I ask Yusek Memphine,
Yes, sir.
Yusek Mempin, you are recognized.
why would
Yes,
why
Yes,
would
Your Honor.
certifications be addressed to you?
Your Honor, Mr. Chair, as I mentioned a while ago, I was asked by the Office of the Secretary to
By
get
the-
report from the
You were asked by the
Office of the
repeat.
Secretary.
By the
Office of the Secretary.
and who in the Office of the Secretary asked you that? Hindi naman pwedeng magsalita yung Office of the Secretary, di po ba? So
It's a-
there must be somebody from the Office of the Secretary who asked you to do that.
It's
And may I know who that is?
it's our former Chief of Staff.
And who might that be? And who might that be?
Former USEC Attorney Mike Poe po, sir. Your Honor.
Yusek Poa. Would you agree to the answer of the Yusek Mempin?
yes, Mr. Chair, Congressman Acop, yes, I confirm that.
That you asked him to ask for the certifications from the different unit commanders of the Philippine Army?
If I may explain, Your Honor, the
Hindi,
answer is
sagutin
yes.
mo muna yung tanong ko bago ka mag-explain.
Yes
Di ba?
po. Yes po.
So, tama yung sagot sa akin ni Yusek Memphine.
Yes po.
Na kayo po ang humingi sa kanya na humingi siya ng certification doon sa mga units ng Philippine Army na nag-conduct ng YLS.
Your Honor, if I may qualify, hindi po specifically on YLS. What I asked for was for any accomplishment. Kasi po yung ayon doon sa AOM na natanggap namin, pag nagbigay daw po ng rewards, you needed evidence of success of the information you received from the rewards. I mean, you received through the giving out of rewards. So because of this, I coordinated with USEC Mempin to to provide any proof of accomplishment para po doon sa rewards na na-disburse ng confidential funds.
Thank you. May I ask, you have been in the Army, USEC Mempin, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
Ano po ang part ng programang wireless na may kasamang rewards? Could you please tell me which part of that program would require the giving or the awarding of rewards? Which part of the program would require the gathering of information? Kasi yun po yung purpose ng confidential fund ng DepEd. 4 po yun. Now, which part of this?
Your Honor, Mr. Chair, for the conduct of YLF per se, there's no in that particular any areas of that for the
Yes.
rewards, giving of rewards, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
Basahin ko man ng ilang beses yung programa na yon, walang nagsasabi doon na pwedeng gamitin yung confidential fund ng isang agency. Would you agree with me?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
Yes. So, USEC po, mali po yun. Kasi kitang-kita naman na natin that you ask for these documents to support your liquidation insofar as the confidential fund of the Department of Education is concerned. Kasi hindi naman kaya basically primordial na kasama doon po sa mga events na yun. And yet, you are submitting or you submitted to COA documents to support your liquidation of the confidential fund of the Department of Education. Wala Kahit na anong basa ko. Kasi, for your information, Yusek COA, naging controller ako ng pulis kaya alam ko kung ano ang sinasabi nitong mga membro ng Philippine Army ngayon Alam ko rin na ginagamit nyo lang yun para i-justify yung expenditure nyo ng confidential fund ng Department of Education. Diba? You just use that to justify your liquidation of the fund. Di po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
If I may also just, if Your Honor would allow me, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Michael Powa, you're recognized.
Basically, just to expound and just so I can inform the committee factually what happened. We received an AOM back in February asking for certain documents, one of which are the DEPs, which are the document evidence of payments. Another one would be for pag may rewards daw, kailangan daw po merong evidence of success. Because I am not aware on how the confidential funds are operationalized, I went to USEC Mempin, who is our former security consultant, to ask if there would be any document that we would be able to show the COA na meron namang success, on the premise that whatever activity was conducted on the ground by the military was targeted because of information received from DepEd due to those rewards given out. Yun po yung pinanggagalingan ko. And when I received the certifications, I submitted them as such in response lang po to the AOM.
Mr. Chair, just a clarification. No?
Opo.
I think
Yes, Congressman Abante, you're
I
recognized.
heard him mention that he is not aware of the nature of the confidential fund. Is that right?
Not the nature, if I may clarify, Mr. Chair, not the nature, I understand the nature of confidential funds, but on how it is actually operationalized or used on the ground, under oath, I would like to state for the record that I'm really not aware. Hindi ko po nakita yung fund, Hindi ko po alam kung paano siya ino-operationalize on the ground. Ang participation ko po ay naganap nung ako po ay OIC for Finance kasi at that time, nung na-receive namin yung AOM. And we had to respond to the AOM. And so because we had to respond to the AOM, I had to get all the documentation that COA was asking for po through that AOM.
So, ibig sabihin po, hinihingi nyo lamang po itong mga documentation na to para lang ma-justify kung paano ginamit. Pero in actual, hindi talaga doon ginamit. Tama po ba? Parang gano'n ang pagkakaintindi ko eh. Parang hinihingi nyo lang po yung certification nung nilabasan na kayo ng AOM.
Tama po.
Tama po?
Tama po. Nung lumabas po yung AOM,
Saka kayo humihingi nito.
kailangan daw po ng evidence of success.
Yes. So kahit na hindi doon
naghanap po
ginamit, gumawa kayo ng mga documentation na parang doon ginamit. Parang ganun. Kung tama po yung pagkakaintindi ko.
Hindi naman po, Mr.
Kasi
Chair.
lumalabas po, hindi naman po doon ginamit yung confidential fund. Pero itong documentation na in-issue po nila Yusek Mempin, yun ang sinabit natin sa COA just to justify yung AOM.
Mr. Chair, again, this is just under my impression nung nakuha ko yung certification. No po. The certification po kasi, when I read it, stated that they conducted yung mga YLS based on the information received from LGUs, DepEd, etc. So ang impression ko po, and again, this is just my impression, is that because of the information they received from DepEd, sinagawa nila, targeted kung saang areas yung YLS. Again, that is just my interpretation of the certification, Your Honor. And now, whether or not that is indeed the case, I really do not have personal knowledge to
Yes, but
confirm.
you have no idea if the fund coming from confidential fund was utilized from LYS. Wala po kayo idea.
I cannot confirm or deny that, Your
tama
Honor.
po. Yes, the chair would like to recognize. Yes, please continue, Congressman Acop.
Thank you. So, Yusek Mempin, wala pong ibinaba na pondo sa Armed Forces of the Philippines or sa Philippine Army units. Wala.
As para sa akin, sir, wala ba daw po, sir?
Yung mga units ng Philippine Army which conducted the summits, wala rin po kayong pondong natanggap galing sa DepEd. Would that be correct?
Yes, sir. Correct, sir.
That's correct. Now, may I ask, bakit kayo nag-issue ng certification? Hindi. That's not you kasi hindi naman ikaw nag-certify eh. Why did you issue certification?
Sino pong sasagot?
Mr. Chair,
Colonel
Colonel
Boransing,
Boransing. Yes,
you are recognized.
Mr. Chair, sir, as I earlier mentioned, sir, because almost all of our activities on the ground are multi-stakeholder. When we appear in activities of one or many agencies ask for certifications of attendance, as I have asked the Secretariat to issue us with a certificate of attendance that we attended this activity. We assume that that certification was also for for that purpose. So a lot of other national government agencies and local government units ask for certifications in that manner also.
So you're trying to tell us that it was Yusek Mempin which required the submission of those certification. Siya po ba ang nag-require sa inyo?
Yes, he asked, Mr. Chair. Yes, sir.
Was it through a written document or what?
He called our commander, sir.
Ganun na po ba ngayon sa our forces of the Philippines?
Well, sir, the other agencies also, like for instance, the Department of, the regional offices of the Department of Agriculture, TESDA, they also text me during our activities. So I think it's an accepted mode of unofficial communication, sir.
For your information, yun pong purpose ng confidential fund ng DepEd in its accomplishment report ay 4 po, for your information. Number 1, counterinsurgency programs. Number 2 is abuse prevention and control within schools. Number 3, anti-illegal activities operations and anti-extremism and terrorism programs. Di po ba? Nowhere could I find dito po sa accomplishment report na sinabmit ng Office of the Department of Education would I see na yung activity ng Armed Forces of the Philippines is enumerated. Wala eh. Wala akong makita. And yet, yung mga ginawa niyong activities, nandun ngayon dun sa, sa liquidation ng contingency fund ng DepEd. Bakit ganun? Yusek Mempin, did you not ask why? When you were asked to get certifications or to secure certifications from those units of the Armed Forces of the Philippines which conducted the YLS, hindi mo tinanong bakit?
Your Honor, Mr. Chair, as former Yusek po mentioned, I was also informed that the Office of the Secretary needs some impact or outcome of the efforts of the Department of Education in terms of protecting the youth, including the out-of-school youth and some IPs. So I was not aware of that is the purely justification for the confidential fund. So I coordinated with the Philippine Army commanders, my former colleagues, to give feedback or in terms of certification that they have conducted YLS in coordination with various stakeholders to include Department of Education. So yun po yung parang pinaka-basis ng coordination ko po sa mga Philippine Army units na nandito po ngayon.
Kasi maski sa certification, Yusek, wala rin akong nakitang na amount na nakalagay doon sa mga certifications ng mga unit commanders ng Philippine Army. Wala. So, may ibang purpose lang yung pagkuha nyo ng certification na yun. And as I've said, it is used to justify yung expenditure ng or pag-spend ng confidential fund ng Department of Education. Now, COA, would it be true na nagbigay po kayo ng CN o credit notice doon sa first 2 quarters ng use ng confidential fund ng DepEd?
Attorney Camora, you're recognized.
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
May I know the basis why nagbigay po kayo ng credit notice? Kasi what I know is if you give credit notice, everything is proper.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Now, bakit po kayo nagbigay ng credit notice doon sa first 2 quarters?
Since submit po sila ng documents that we required in the AOM, we deem them okay na po for the compliance.
Parang sa joint circular din.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Di ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Actually, yun nga po, yung certifications is one of the requirements po.
When I say parang sa joint circular, you do not do anything to find out whether the data or the certifications given you would be reasonable or true? Hindi nyo tinitignan, di po ba?
Mr. Chair, since dun sa certifications, nilagay po nila na due to the collaboration between the DepEd and the Philippine Army, wala pong mga batang recruited Okay na po yun sa amin.
Okay na sa inyo. Pursuant to your, shall we say, circulars.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Ganon.
Yes,
Ganon po
Mr.
yun.
Chair.
Paano nga natin mababantayan yung kung pag ganyan ang inyong pag-iisip? Di po ba? Now, Mr. Chair, please allow me to come up with my parochial concern. Because I heard a while ago that Yusek Densing was in charge of the allocation of the BEFF or Basic Educational Facilities. Tama po ba?
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Yusek Densing, you're
That's correct, sir.
recognized.
Correct. Pwede ko bang malaman bakit walang napunta sa Antipolo na school building
Sir,
during your term or the term of VP Sara?
ang nahawakan ko po actually is 24.
Hindi, tinatanong ko.
Opo.
Sagutin mo muna ako.
Pero sir, ang sa Antipolo kasi, Antipolo, Taytay, tinanong ko rin kasi yan dun sa technical working group, wala na pong buildable space. Yung pang binanggit sa akin.
Walang buildable space.
Opo.
There's a fund with the DepEd na pambili ng spaces. Di po ba?
Wala po. Yun po ang nilabi namin nung nakaraang budget.
That is for GA 2022?
24 po, 24.
Hindi, tinatanong ko nga eh.
Sa 22 po wala.
Congressman ako noong 2022.
Opo.
My wife was a congresswoman
I wasn't there yet, but there was
since
no fund, sir.
2019.
I was not there
Pero
yet.
wala kaming natatanggap.
Opo.
Your records will bear me out.
Opo. I
As a matter of
recognize.
fact, the first time, 2022, nag-usap po tayo. Kasi kinausap po ninyo yung mga yung mga members ng parties. Di po ba? And we talk. Sinabi ko yung concern ko na yun.
Opo. We did. In fact, nung ginawa nga nila, may mga districts nga, legislative districts na wala.
Now, may I ask you, Yusek Densing, is that following the mandate of the Constitution that you are supposed to equitably distribute government resources?
That's the part of the criteria that I mentioned to the National Technical Working Group.
Tinatanong nga kita eh.
Opo.
When you do not allocate school buildings doon sa isang lugar, is that equitable distribution?
Again, sir, the problem was there are no buildable spaces in the area.
Sino po ang nagsabi?
Yung National Technical Working Group po.
Itong 2024, humingi ako.
Opo.
2024, humingi ako. There are buildable spaces, pero wala pa rin. And you cannot explain that to me.
Well, sir, I could not answer because the fund was really small at the time. Originally at 9.7 NEP.
So what you're trying to tell me, Yusek, is that hindi po priority doon yung distrito ko po.
No, sir. Priority po inyo dahil mataas po ang shortage sa Antipolo.
Kasi meron pa kami 3 shifts eh.
Opo. Kaya po priority kayo, Taytay.
Pero wala pa rin kami. Kung priority kami sa mata ninyo, bakit hindi kami nabibigyan? Baka tama yung sinasabi ni Johnny Pimentel.
Hindi po tama yun. Hindi po tama yun.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. The Chair would like to recognize the Honorable Jonathan Kate Flores.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yusek Mempin.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr.
Sir,
Chair.
is there any other Yusek who has been given the same designation to oversee the YLS programs? O ikaw lang, from DepEd?
Actually, I was not the one in charge of the wireless. I was just tasked to coordinate with the Philippine Army with regards to the report of their conduct of wireless. But in Department of Education, the Operation Strand is the one who has the mandate of under po sa kanya yung program ng wireless but hindi po sa administration.
So are you saying na as far as these certifications are concerned, ang only parang role mo or designation mo was to collect them?
Yes po, yung
to collect them?
To coordinate po.
To coordinate with them?
Yes.
Okay. And the
Yes,
collection was for the purpose of liquidating the expenses, or hindi mo alam for what purpose?
I was not exactly aware, but I'm made aware of they need some to see the impact of the collaborations of the Department of Education with the Philippine Army and other stakeholders that resulted through the wireless, that resulted to the prevention of recruitment through violent extremism and other
sir,
threats po, sir.
You said impact, no? Impact of the wireless conducted by the AFP? Ang ibig mo sabihin?
Yes, sir, which is the prevention of recruitment.
Yes. So what then is the role of DepEd when it was a purely AFP event?
Because if not all, majority of the participants are also
Students.
coming from the
Yes,
schools.
but other than them being students, it's as if DepEd is claiming an activity that was not theirs in the first place. Tama po ba?
Yes, sir, with just purpose of coordination.
What coordination? You just ask for the certifications. What coordination are you talking about? Tapos na yung activity eh. You just ask for a certification. What coordination are you talking about, Yusek Mempin?
Coordination for the certification because...
For the certification, but not for the activity itself. Tama ba?
Yes, sir, because
Yes,
that my
but then you are claiming that the impact was because of the DepEd activities. You're asking for certifications, claiming that this was the impact of the activities of DepEd by spending their confidential funds on this and that, etc., etc.
Your Honor, that be correct. It's not DepEd initiating, but the activity of, because the conduct of wireless is primarily the activity
Kaya
or
nga,
program of...
you're
the
asking
Philippine
for a certification that they conducted this and they included this number of young persons, and the only contribution actually DepEd has was that most of the students there were enrolled in DepEd. But actually, wala kayong actual participation in the wireless. Tama po ba? That's correct, right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And all you did was collect the certifications from the different units of the military that they conducted these activities and that they had this number of participants. Tama po ba?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, now Mr. Poa, who directed you to secure the certifications?
Mr. Powa, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Sir, no one directed me.
No one
I was
directed
the
you.
one who coordinated.
So initiative mo lang na mag-secure ako ng certifications kasi may kailangan akong justify na expense. Tama po ba?
Opo, but yes, sir, but not necessarily for YLS, because if I may be very candid and honest, hindi naman po ako familiar sa YLS to begin
So
with.
why did you ask Mempin to secure the certifications?
Your Honor, because we needed to secure not certifications but evidence of success for any purchase of information gathered or rewards given in exchange for information.
Okay, now
So-
what information was purchased in the conduct of the YLS by the AFP?
Your
Tell
Honor,
me.
I honestly wouldn't know exactly.
So why would you ask for certification like that?
I asked Yusek Mempin, being our former security consultant and the
Yes.
one that has coordination with AFP, to see if due to the information given by DepEd, they were able to have targeted programs wherein we can respond to the AOM and show that there was in fact success in
Now you just heard Yusek Mempin say that his only participation was in securing the certification.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, why would you ask him for certifications? Ang sabi mo nga, that this is the impact of the rewards that you've been giving. This is the impact of the information that you have been rewarding. Di ba, what is the impact there? Tell me, Mr. Poa.
In my impression, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, is that if the AFP were able to target, kumbaga, hold not just YLS but hold programs, targeted groups because of the information provided by DepEd, then that would show that it was successful.
Okay, what information was provided by DepEd? And to whom was this information provided?
Your Honor, I really,
Yes.
I am under oath.
Yeah.
Hindi ko talaga alam.
O kaya
kung
nga,
ano
hindi mo
ang
alam,
operation.
hindi niya rin alam, yet you're just using these certifications to justify something.
Your Honor,
Hindi mo alam ano ang rewards, ano ang i-reward mo. Hindi niya alam ano ang information na binili ninyo, di ba? Yet you ask Yusek Mempin to secure certifications. Si Mempin naman, secured certifications from activities conducted by the Philippine Army using their own funds. So saan dyan ang ano? Tell me, explain to me, Mr. Poa, where is the connection of the justification for this expense with the certifications issued by them and in relation to supposedly the rewards for the information that you gathered by using confidential funds?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Chair, under my theory, Your Honor, if we were able, because may mga anti-insurgency, yun yung nakita ko sa accomplishment report, no? Anti-insurgency campaigns. Hindi po ba? So, anti-extremist campaigns. So, that's why I approached Yusek Mempin and said, meron ba tayong makukuhaan ng any report or any certification, kasi yun ang nasa JMC, showing that because of the information that DepEd was probably able to give the AFP, na target nila kung sino yung mga susceptible to insurgency and were able to at least prevent them from being recruited. And in this case, ang nabigay po nila would be seminars, and that is why yun po ang sinubmit ko sa sa response namin sa AOM.
Okay, no, parang for me, forgive me
Yes,
po,
I understand.
ang labo kasi na you saying na ito yung information that we gathered using this reward money, supposedly, and that in effect, the AFP conducted these seminars. Tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
But from the testimonies that you've heard, walang connection whatsoever ang activities nila sa yung activities na sinasabi mo.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Yes, Your Honor. Although at that time, hindi ko naman po alam na ganun yung sinasabi nila, no?
Yet you're using the certifications to justify an expense of your office? Parang
Your
mali
Honor,
po ata yan, ha? Di ba? You just testified now na hindi mo nga alam anong connection nito whatsoever, yet you used these certifications issued by them to justify an expense with COA.
Mr. Chair.
Please continue.
Respectfully, Your Honor. Ang confidential funds, hindi naman talaga sa pagkakaalam ko, no? Theoretically, hindi naman pwede ibigay ng isang ahensya sa kabilang ahensya yan. That is something that you can only use as per the JMC for purchase of information so that you can have
Can I stop you there for sorry, Mr. Poa? Pero, yun na, paulit-ulit tayo na it all boils down to the fact that you are using a certification of an activity of a different agency who never spent any single peso coming from your office to justify your expense. Tama po ba?
Mr. Chair, again, respectfully, the justification is not that they spent the money of DepEd. The justification that, under my
You attached it to justify your expenses nga, di ba?
Yes,
So tell me where's the connection there?
Mr. Chair,
Please continue.
respectfully, the connection, Your Honor, is if they were able to hold yung seminars nga, which in the beginning, hindi ko man lang alam na seminars yung ibibigay na certification po, just to be clear. If they were able to hold the seminars in certain locations because of information given by DepEd to them that these locations have vulnerable learners that wherein seminars have to be held, for example, yun po yung justification namin na nasubmit sa COA on the success of the expenditure. But not success meaning binayaran po namin ang AFP. That was never the impression, Your Honor.
So ang sinasabi mo is that AFP conducted these seminars because you gave them the information that this sector is vulnerable.
Not me per se, but that is the theory, Your Honor. Yes,
Okay.
Your Honor.
AFP. Colonel Boransing, sir.
Colonel Boransing, you are recognized.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair.
When the YLS was conducted in your area by your division, you conducted it because it was a regular program of your division. Tama po ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes. Now, how about you, Colonel Panopio? Did you conduct a YLS in your area with your division or with your battalion because it is a regular program of your battalion or of the FP?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
See? Mr. Poa? Do you want me to ask the others? they will still be giving me the same answers po.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Your Honor, I am not in a position to really tell you kung talaga
Then
ba
who is
ako
in
na
position to tell me that?
Your Honor,
Sino?
it would probably be the Secretary, Your Honor, or the ones that are responsible for the confidential funds. Kasi wala naman po talaga, and again, I'm under oath, wala po
So
talaga
kaya,
akong...
who is responsible for the confidential funds?
Your Honor, the Secretary and the SDO are the only ones
then
that are privy.
you know, if only
Opo.
they would have been here to answer these questions para mas maklaro po. Kasi right now, everyone is really confused, no? Una, why will you be using a certification for activity of another unit? Tama ba? It's confusing, right? If it's just between us nga, it's confusing eh. Now, if you hear the answers of the AFP, silang lahat had nothing to do with DepEd. When they conducted the wireless, it had nothing to do with DepEd. It was their own programs that they were pursuing. Now, here comes Yusef Mempin collecting the certifications from the activities conducted by AFP, submitting it to you, and you submitting it to COA to justify your expense.
Yes, Your Honor.
It's
that's
wrong, di ba?
Yes, but
From no matter how you look at it, it's so wrong.
Mr. Chair, yes.
Please proceed.
But yes, factually, that's really what happened, Your Honor. I got the certifications, I got the documents evidencing payment, the DEPs, which are the acknowledgement receipts. I attached them because that's what COA was looking for, and I submitted to COA, Your Honor.
Kaya nga. Anyway, I've already asked my questions, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Briefly, you are a lawyer, tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. Ang tanong ko lang, hindi po ba ninyo binasa muna yung justification bago ninyo sinubmit sa COA? Kasi po, ang hinahanap po ninyong justification sa AOM is insurgency. Tama po ba?
Opo.
Tapos ang sinasubmit ninyo seminar.
Hindi
po ba medyo... Siyempre tayo, abogado tayo eh. Mabusisi tayo sa mga dokumento eh.
Yes.
So, hindi ba parang... Well, ako, napapanood ko po kayo. Napakagaling po ninyong sumagot. Very articulate po kayo. Very sharp po kayo as a lawyer. Pero dito po, parang hindi ako makapaniwala na nag-submit kayo ng isang dokumento na iba yung intention. So, yun lang po yung comment ko. Yes, Congressman, with the indulgence of Congressman Valeriano. Yes. With the indulgence, okay po ba na may tatanong lang daw po siya?
Sige po, Mr.
Sige po. Yes, Congressman
thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr.
Gonzales.
Chairman. May tanong lang ako sa DepEd. Did DepEd coordinate with the Philippine Army during the entire year? Hindi po yata sila gumastos ng fourth quarter ng 2023. DepEd? Nag-coordinate po ba yung DepEd sa Philippine Army?
Sino po sa DepEd ang po pwedeng
Mr.
sumagot?
Poa?
Ako, Your
Yes,
Honor,
Attorney Poa.
Ako, Your Honor, I wouldn't have any personal knowledge on coordination except I cannot tell you the date. I don't remember now, but there was at least a parang MOA sign, dapat MOA na fino-formulate ang operations team namin with the PNP during my time as Chief of Staff. Pero hindi na-conclude yun while I was still there, Your Honor.
May I know if
Maybe
Yusek Escobedo, who is the Undersecretary for Operations, may I know if babae ba ito? Rebsi. May I know if she is present? Wala po. Wala po.
Well, I will just continue, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, please continue.
Maybe I will ask the commander if the program lasted up to the end of the year. Meron po kayong programa sa mga commanders from DepEd from this fourth quarter of this CF?
Sino pong sasagot? Sino sasagot?
Sa commander po ng Philippine Army or
Colonel Panopio?
Sige po.
Or Colonel Panopio?
May I again ask the question, Your Honor?
Well, yung ano po, yung programa po ng Philippine Army at saka ng DepEd, meron po kayong MOA na sign. Ang alam ko po si Mr. Attorney Poa signed response to the AOM po. Totoo po ito, Mr. Poa?
Yes po, na ako po yung nag-sign ng response to the AOM po.
That's why kailangan po you know ang sagot regarding these certifications, Mr. Poa.
Apo, yung certifications naman po, sir, if
Yes,
Mr. Chair,
please proceed.
the reason why at that time I thought that it was at least yan kasi yung natanggap ko and I thought appropriate na rin to isubmit is because based on the wording of the certifications, nakasulat naman po doon that these YLS seminars were conducted in coordination and from information gathered from DepEd amongst one of the agencies. So, since yun po yung certification at yung wording, at least at that time, I thought it was appropriate na po. Now, whether or not it is appropriate for COA or for this committee, at that time po, I just submitted what was available.
Okay, thank you. So yun po, is Commander, if the program lasted until the end of fourth quarter.
Yes, Your Honor. We have the last report dated 30 December 2023, Your Honor.
So meaning to say may disconnection na yung paggastos ng confidential fund ng DepEd up to the fourth quarter. Tama ho ba?
I am not aware of that confidential fund, Your Honor.
But from day one po, wala kayong ginastos.
Yes, Your Honor. We spend our own resources from the Philippine Army and respective participants from the PNP, LGUs, and other stakeholders, sir.
Is this the infantry division commanders po? Ito po yung sinasabi nyo?
Yes, Your Honor.
And this is the YLS also, the Youth Leader
Yes,
Summit?
sir. The Youth Leadership Summit is a multi-stakeholder engagements under the EO70, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Ang tanong po kanina ni Senior Deputy Speaker, kung meron daw po bang MOA o Memorandum of Agreement between DepEd and the Philippine Army with respect to this program. Yun po yung tinatanong kanina ni Senior Deputy Speaker. MOA.
None that I'm aware of.
Wala
na
po
may
kayo.
MOA.
Okay.
Wala po akong
So
alam
kayo
na
po,
MOA.
aware, meron po ba kayong ano?
None that we are aware, Your Honor.
So, okay.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
just want to clarify.
Congressman
here,
Abante.
Yusek Mempin,
Yes, Your
why were
Honor,
you
Mr. Chair.
appointed as Undersecretary when you are in the armed forces?
I was already retired by January.
Yes, you're retired already, but why were you appointed?
I was
Being in the armed forces, why were you appointed? Are you an expert in education when you were in the armed forces?
no, sir.
Oh, why were you appointed?
I was recruited by the former secretary and vice president, and I'm not aware of the reason why I was recruited, except maybe for the trust and confidence, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
Okay, would you think that because the secretary has a confidential fund that it should be used with the agreement of the members of the armed forces? Nang pinag-uusapan kanina yung MOA, ano? Hindi ba dapat yung MOA yan ng agency? For example, dapat kung magmo-MOA ang Department of Education, dapat ang MOA niyan would be between the DepEd and DND. Am I right?
That's correct, Your Honor, Mr.
Meron ba?
None that I'm aware of, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
So, ibig sabihin, hindi nyo ginawa ang dapat yung gawin.
Your Honor, I was not I was not the one in charge of wireless.
I'm not referring if you're in charge. What I'm saying is this. That is between departments in the executive branch of government. The MOA should have been between the DepEd and the ND. The question is, why was not it done?
Your Honor, Mr. Chair, as mentioned by Yusek Poa, our operations strand is on the process of the engagement with Department of National Defense with regard to wireless, but I think it's not yet been consummated. Or,
Yes, but there should be a MOA. Am I right?
That's correct.
And that
Your
was not done. Am I right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Therefore, it is improper. Am I right? It is improper. Am I right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, SDS, Dong
Well,
Gonzales.
yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, the point is useless because gumastos ang DepEd even from the first and to third quarter, but no impact on the YLS, other military operation. Yun po yung point ko. Parang useless ang ginawa ng DepEd na hindi naman nag-serve yung purpose ng YLS division. Tama ho ba, Mr. Chair? Gumastos ang DepEd na walang kasaysayan sa paggastos nila sa CF from first, second, and third quarter.
Actually, lumalabas, wala pong nilabas, wala pong ginastos dahil as we speak,